Republic Act 10533, otherwise known as the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, an act enhancing the Philippine basic education system by strengthening its curriculum and increasing the number of years for basic education. In 2016, Domingo Lacson National High School had piloted the implementation of the senior high school program offerings, which were amongst the 19 public secondary schools in the division of Bacolod City, with various program offerings in both academic and TBL tracks. Join me in discovering the Lactonian's action implementation of the senior high school program offerings from 2016 to the present. Domingo Lacson National High School Senior High School Program offerings in school year 2016-2017, 2017-2018, and 2018-2019 include the Humanities and Social Sciences, or HUMSS, for the academic track, and Contact Center Services, or CCS, Medical Transcription, or MedTrans, and Shielded Metal Arc Welding, or SMAW, for Technology, Vocational, and Livelihood, or TVL track. In school year 2019-2020, additional TBL program offering had been opened: the domestic refrigeration and air conditioning, or DOMRAC. In school year 2016-2017, the school had 171 enrollees. After a year of the implementation, there was an increase of 61%, where 276 students have enrolled for school year 2017-2018. In school year 2018-2019, there was another increase of 37%, with a total enrollees of 378. There were 328 enrollees in school year 2019-2020 due to the pandemic, where most of the parents were hesitant to enroll their children despite the multiple distance delivery modalities being offered and stipulated in the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, or BELCP, of the department. However, in school year 2020-2021, a 34% increase has been recorded, with 440 students enrolled. For this school year 2021-2022, a total of 551 officially enrolled students, with a 25% increase in the enrollment. Therefore, for the past 6 years, it was evident that Domingo Lacson National High School Senior High School enrollment has been increasing from the start of its implementation until the current year. Teachers, students, and parents have experienced various challenges and difficulties as far as the learning delivery in this time of pandemic. Most of the teachers have encountered issues and concerns in delivering the basic education to our senior high school learners, where facilitation was difficult. Students have lost their interest due to the bulk of self-learning modules being brought home.
As an educator for more than a year here in Domingo Lacson National High School, I do have experienced some issues regarding with my students. First one, as an English educator, I am majoring in English and not Filipino. So it is a challenge for me to find resources in Filipino subject.
So the issues and concerns as a teacher in this challenging time that I have experienced was the lack of references and resources, especially for this semester. I am teaching MedTrans, or the medical transcription. So I have searched online, like for the DepEd Commons. There is no references for the medical transcriptions, and I have only a limited source of what I can teach my students. So I am still searching, and
a lack of resources and learning materials, especially for the contact center services subject. We actually don't have a book for that, and so we are more on online resources like YouTube.
There is what we call preferred areas of learning that DepEd is encouraging for all of our learners. But then again, not all students have preferred areas of learning.
There are certain parts of the curriculum which really would require, hopefully, face-to-face interaction between teachers and students. And like what I have noticed so far, a lot of Filipino students are basically not ready for self-learning.
Also, internet connection was considered an issue of concern, especially to an institution like us, which held online classes, and it happened to be dependent on the internet connectivity.
Even if we are in school, we also struggle with the internet connection. And sometimes it happens when we work from home, even with the comfort of our homes, we also still have the same problem.
The challenge arises in the internet accessibility since not all students have mobile data or Wi-Fi, and not all students have their own phone and laptop.
Signal, interferences, gulpi lang madulang signal, may madulang ang kabataan. Or kami mismo mga teacher, madulang kami signal, wala na kami sa klase sa kabataan.
Meanwhile, majority of our students have various struggles during the onset of the health crisis. They were affected academically. They have wished to experience the traditional face-to-face since challenges on how to answer their modules were evident. Apart from that, internet connection problem had been an issue, as well as for them due to the intermittent internet connectivity they have experienced during the online virtual classes.
Sa internet connection namin is hindi kami makasunod sa klase kay gakaubusan kami load, hinayan kami signal or dula-dula ang signal. Sa hindi pa kami ka-intindi kay chape nga po teacher.
Nabudlayan ko gid kay wala kami signal. It's hard for me to cope up, and for my mental health also, it's hard for me to focus because I'm always stressed na sometimes ubra kami na even if night.
Finally, parents have wished to return the classes to the traditional classroom encounter because of the hardships they have had in facilitating learning at home. Majority of them were elementary graduates, and they don't have proper training on how to facilitate the distance learning at home with their children.
Daan wala man kami nga daan katapos kisang amon ang ineskwelahan ti nabudlayan kit kami yang magtudlo iya sa iya. Ti amon na ko sa mga magulang niya lang nga tudlo sa iya. Mas na mi ako sa face to face na gitani nga klase kay makaintindi kisa sa tanan.
Kisa kanya ginikanan nang nabudlayan man kami sir mo kisa kan syempre may obra man kami mo. Pero mas namin pag sir kung face to face sir kay para makatuon gid sila maayo sir.
Pabor gitu para maka-experience mo sila sa kay linsang pag-graduate na dola yung sa experience sa mga face to face mo. Sila graduate na sila wala sila advisor sa mga classmate.
Thus, as an institution with concrete vision mission, the Mingalaxan National High School would always secure that our learners be provided with a quality and equitable basic education despite of the challenges brought by the scaring plague by continuously delivering the caliber academic strategies and reforms in this new normal straight at the doorsteps of our grades 11 and 12 learners. Several private and government agencies had been part of the senior high school in the implementation of the work immersion program for Humanities and Social Sciences or UMS, Medical Transcription MedTrans, Shielded Metal Arc Welding or SMAW, and Domestic Refrigeration Air Conditioning or DOMRAC. Before the pandemic, Philippine Coast Guard, Philippine National Police, Banago Elementary School 1 and 2 had been our partners in facilitating the work immersion for the Humanities and Social Sciences students. Meanwhile, Panasonic Solutions Incorporated had been the home for our Medtrans immersees. Triple J, Apollo Machine Shop, Cellcore, and Dante's Shop for our small students. Finally, the DOMRAC students had been exposed and trained in the variety of air conditioning repair activities by MacGel, Refrigeration and Air Conditioning, DECA, Refrigeration and Air Conditioning Services, and LDC, Refrigeration and Air Conditioning Servicing. On the other hand, this pandemic, in lieu of the actual work duties of our students and their assigned agencies, cleanup drive, community outreach and feeding program, literacy program, and livelihood program had been the outright replacement for the actual work immersion. These programs had been an effective alternative in preparing the students to become effective and efficient workers after graduation. For the past 6 years, Domingo Lacson Senior High School had introduced academic and extracurricular activities which helped shape our graduates to become effective members of the society through proper exposures, involvements, experiences, and trainings. These are the best practices towards the implementation of the senior high school programs, namely, initiated the first ever Senior High School Expo prior to the division-wide sponsored expo, where the outputs of the students had been presented in public. The conduct of the semestral Senior High School Forum, a consultation avenue which aimed to present and resolve the issues and concerns of the students before the parents and the stakeholders. The conduct of the semestral parents and students orientation, which aimed to unveil the policies and agreements of the school before the parents and guardians. The conduct of the first ever research colloquium among our grade 12 students, which aimed to identify the research wizards of our school. Implemented the annual community outreach and feeding program, which taught our students to share material and non-material needs with the underprivileged members of the community. And this time of pandemic, we had introduced the virtual graduation on the onset of the health crisis. The school had introduced the Project Salbar, which means students' assistance in learning the basic academic requirements. This was an online tutorial program which aimed to assist students to avoid academic lags and free them from failing in the enrolled subject. Also, we had the Project Ayuda, where school toolkits were distributed to all the official enrollees of Domingo Lacson Senior High School. This year, the school proposes the following activities in order to continuously enhance and upscale the learners, namely, the online or the virtual immersion program for the medical transcription or MedTrans, community-based immersion for the shielded metal arc welding or SMAL, and domestic refrigeration and air conditioning (DOMRAC), and community literacy program for the humanities and social sciences or HUMSS. The support from the barangay officials and collaboration of the people in the community would result in the success of the future academic and non-academic activities of the senior high school students.
I assure you nga ang Barangay 1 handa gid magbulig sa Domingo Lacson whatever ang ilang mga proposal. So isa kami sa inyo as stakeholders ng barangay, ang Barangay 1 hindi mo pabaya sa Domingo Lacson National High School.
Ang Barangay 2 mag-support sa isang ano lang programa at activities sa Domingo Lacson.
Kami sa Barangay Banago bilang Barangay Kapitan, kami dira sa Domingo Lacson ang suporta sa barangay daya ara gina kay mauya ta nga hindi ta magsuporta.
In this trying time, indeed, it takes the entire community to provide a quality basic education for all learners. Collaboration from the community and parents must emanate in order to attain the goals and aspirations in building a strong nation of the people, by the people, and for the people. Domingo Lacson National High School Senior High School commits to provide the quality of teaching which could hone Lacsonan graduates to become caliber members of the workforce in both private and public industries. We believe in bata, buligan, ambigan, tunduan, kag alalayan. Agod mangin active, basko, kagampyon, ang batang pagulunod. On behalf of our principal, Dr. Cheryl Tondo, the entire Lacson community, the senior high school teaching staff, and personnel. This has been your senior high school coordinator, Joy Gumban, for One Senior High School.